I think we might have it there. Let's see if that works better.
Good.
Let's try this again. Anybody who's just joining us this morning, we're fighting with internet issues.
Good times.
It is, isn't it? It's always fun and games. Modern technology never ceases to entertain us.
Yeah.
Do you have a connection going there yet, Greg?
I do.
Ah, good. Okay, then, I think we've got this.
Katie Kintner's watching. Good morning, Katie. How are you?
We got a full house here this morning with Andrea from Southwest Trading Company, Jen Miles, the Vice Mayor of Kingman, and colorful Gregg Arnold, and then Paul Nublio and his charming wife here this morning. Glad everybody could join us. We'll get you started with a few quick updates here from the road and other places. Immediately following this morning's program, I've got the weekly program with Cameron Broadcasting, and if you're online, you can catch that at talkatz.com, and we'll be talking about Route 66, but specifically Kingman, and it's a new program we're doing every week. And then, no, I'm not moving at this point, but I will be in Tucumcari for a while. July 27th, I'm going to be talking with the city there and helping a little bit on an economic development tourism situation. July 22nd, I'll be over in Burbank at Autobooks, Aerobooks. And there's going to be really a great event in Joliet, Illinois, October 19th and 21st. And it's the Miles of Possibilities Conference. And I will be speaking there on tourism in the Southwest. And the problem we've got for a lot of us is that also conflicts with Cuba Fest in Cuba, Missouri, which I always try to attend, so I don't know how we're going to do that. It's hard to be in two places at once when you're nowhere at all. People have asked about the DVD that's been produced by Promote Kingman, Jim Hinckley's America Trek along Route 66. I'm happy for those folks on the road who buy wholesale from Greg Gassick. He'll be distributing DVDs hopefully in the next week or so. And here in Kingman, they're available: Southwest Trading Company, Calico's, Rutherford's, and also Grand Canyon Caverns and the Antares Point Visitor Center. And also at the Mother Road Museum in Barstow, as well as Autobooks, Aerobooks in Burbank. Gives you a little bit of something there. So how's everybody doing this morning? Miss Andrea, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Just fine and dandy. I enjoy doing this so much. I got so many neat things going here. People have asked about these that we get. You find these on the road quite a lot, and they're from the German Route 66 Association, and the Dutch also put these out, and you'll find them at restaurants in different locations that they recommend on the road, and then they post these things on their websites and places where. And we've got them all showing up all over Kingman now. Rutherford's, the Ramada, Mr. D's.
Antares Point Group.
Antares Point, yes.
They have one.
And Grand Canyon Caverns. Oh, another neat thing real quick on Grand Canyon Caverns. I was out there last week with some folks from Germany, and they'll be opening their Caverns Grotto lunchroom real soon.
Oh, wow.
It's
nice.
going to be a really unique reservation-only dining experience, 21 stories underground. And I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be quite a deal. And it was a lot of fun down there. And this is something I was really honored by. I got this last week, a little bit of shameless self-promotion. Take a look at this, Mr. Gregg. So a family, Sylvia and Bernard, brought this to me from Germany, and it's a homemade Jim Hinckley's America banner.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
And they were so happy last visit with Rutherford's, the way they were treated. They made one of these Rutherford 66 family diner, and they brought it and presented it to Tammy down there at the diner.
Oh, well, they've done so much great work there at Rutherford's.
They've done tremendous things down there.
This must have taken forever to
I
make.
know, this is really high. Very, very nice. A labor of love.
I was quite honored by that, to say the very least.
Hey, Andrew, you want to grab an end, and I'll grab an end, and we'll hold it up so everyone can see
Oh,
it.
God. And it's 42 feet long, I think.
Oh my God, it's just, gonna need a bigger camera. We can do kind of a rolling thing.
You can scroll it.
Yeah.
Scroll it, yeah.
From Sylvian Bernard from Germany.
Oh my God. 42 feet long, that's outstanding.
Well, it did seem that way. Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty slick.
And you get to
Yes.
fold it back up.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome. I'm too good to you.
Well, Miss Andrea, will put you on the spot since you said you had some things you wanted to talk about this morning.
Well, we are, we're excited. We're getting a lot of really good feedback from the community, and they're kind of wanting a little bit more of some diversity in what they can find downtown. And so we're going to be expanding, and I don't want to go to, because we don't have any
Gotcha.
set things
Just
quite yet.
just a teaser.
Yeah, so we're working on some stuff, and I think it's going to be really good. So
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. But I've also been working with Sarah Ferry and a group of people with the Kingman Progressive group, and we're all talking about working towards opening a food co-op. So
That would
that's
be awesome.
something, and I may not have been supposed to announce that yet, but I think it's good to get the word out there that that's something that, you know, that we're working on, and hopefully the community can really get involved, and we're gonna start doing some events to promote that too.
Oh, great.
So that's in the works as well with a group of folks downtown.
Because that farmer's market is awesome that's
Yeah.
downtown, so it'd be kind of like
Yeah,
that, but
it'd
inside.
be nice if we could have some air conditioning with it too, right?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I mean, and yes, this is a long ways in the works, but, you know, there's a group of us just talking and seeing what we can figure out, and
That's where
hopefully
it
we'll be able to
starts.
come to the community with it a little bit eventually.
Right.
So,
It all starts with a plan, right?
yes, an idea.
It's really exciting
People get
stuff.
behind it.
That's right.
The Progressive Alliance, they've got all kinds of neat things out there. They had their youth group that was involved with some cleanup projects here.
Yes.
It was quite impressive, and really shows the spirit that we have in Kingman and the sense of community that's really starting to develop even among the young people. And it's pretty dynamic what we're getting with this.
It's exciting.
How's business doing for you down there?
Good, really good. Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I still get people in there like, I see you on Facebook. I've been trying to get in here. So there's still folks that, you know, are coming in and finding out about us, and we also are building a good regular customer base that are, you know, they check in, see what we have.
Well, your
every
prices
week.
are great.
Thank you. So yeah, it's been really good. It's been really
And
good.
then we put you to work folding.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'd be here till it was dark out trying to fold
I do
that
fold
thing.
a lot in my day-to-day operations.
Fold your
So.
clothing.
You just don't even pay any attention.
Yeah, it just comes natural now.
And then, so isn't it dynamic what's happening downtown?
It's awesome. I've only been here about a year and a half. And I remember when we first got here, I said, you know, this downtown could be so cool, because there really wasn't a whole lot when I got here. There wasn't a whole lot open. And I've got to see it really expand just in the last year, 6 months even. It's just done incredible things, and it's exciting. And it's exciting to be a part of it.
It looks like a whole different town, doesn't it?
It does, it really
Yeah,
does.
it doesn't look recognizable at all, like you said,
Yeah.
year and a half, even the last 6 months.
And I will say, we hear it almost daily from folks that live in town, and even people that travel. You know, a lot of folks have, every summer they do a certain trip. So there's people that stop, you know, consistently, and we hear it constantly. This town is looking so good, you guys are doing a great job. And it's always positive feedback. I haven't heard a negative thing in a long time, so.
We've seen it. We've been coming here for 25 years because our kids live here. And well, we just moved in 3 years ago. And I always drive through the downtown area because it's alive. There's always
Right.
cars there. The businesses are always going. There's a significant difference. Even in the 3 years we've been here. It's exciting, really.
It's really neat.
An overnight success, 30 years in the making
Yes.
now, and it's really starting to pick up steam.
Yep.
It really is. And Greg, you have your studio, and gallery downtown now.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Just look for the camel.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, it's a full-size dromedary camel. That's also my mailbox. So when you see that, if you see a vehicle there, just pull in. That means I'm probably there, or somebody parked a car there, which happens sometimes too. I'm like, who the hell is that?
That's the spirit. That's the welcoming, friendly spirit.
It happens.
And we're very honored to have Vice Mayor Jen Miles with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thank you for inviting me.
You
And
bet.
I too am excited about all the growth downtown. And, you know, the city has been dedicated to that as one of its pillars for economic growth. And I like the work that's being done on the roads and trying to improve it for our visitors. And while I'm here, I also wanted to mention the town hall we're going to have on August 19th, because the community is so engaged now in so many things. But we in the chamber and others are sponsoring the town hall. There'll be a registration online for it, and we're hoping to have about 300 people at Bill Celebrations to discuss our future and to determine the economic pillars, of which I'm sure tourism will be one. But that's a good opportunity for people to get engaged, to have a voice. We're going to come out of that session with the Arizona Town Hall having facilitated it, so that we have pillars that we all agree on for growth.
Yeah, I think everybody has to go in the same direction.
Yes, and there will be an opportunity for people to actually sign up for groups that are going to work on these pillars. So we need especially for people who are enthusiastic and passionate about our growth in Kingman, to be there. So.
Next week, our program, Friday morning, is going to be almost entirely in the town hall.
Oh,
We've got
good.
Ben Peterson and
That would be wonderful.
Greg Martin
Can't
from
say
the
too much.
director of the Chamber of Commerce. No problem. But we're going to have them all here next week, and Dwayne Patterson will be with us next week to talk about
Excellent.
the real estate changes here and how the growth that's taking place. But almost the entire program next week, we're going to talk about the town hall and
Big deal.
what it's could mean to Kingman and the successes it's had in other communities.
Good.
That's
We have some really wonderful opportunities in Kingman. Tourism is one of them, but also our manufacturing and industrial base that will come forth strongly. And I'm anxious to see how it all does manifest. And there'll be a youth component. So there's going to be everybody's voices will be heard. That's the intention.
Well, you know, of course, I push tourism pretty hard because I have a gift for telling people where to go. I try to put it to use, but tourism is just one component. I mean, it is a component in economic development, but it's not the end all. Neither is Route 66. Route 66 is just one component. Our location here in the Southwest is, you know, part of that, being on the Grand Circle. I mean, that's just a huge attraction and draw.
We're very lucky to have Route 66 here.
Oh yeah, it's low hanging fruit. You might say it's the gateway. You might say it's the gateway drug. You know, we give people here, and then from there we can take it the rest of the way. But and you're starting to see it more and more downtown. The people are discovering Beale Street.
Absolutely.
Our visitors and travelers.
Yeah, I think one thing we do need to figure out how to reach is actually, surprisingly enough, people that already live here. I hear quite a bit. I met a gal at one point a few months ago, and she was, you know, in her early 20s, and she had just moved here from California, and she was living with some family, and she's like, I said, oh, you gotta come downtown, there's some great, you know, breweries, there's House of Hops and Blackbridge and the wine bar, and I was telling her all about, you know, what there is to do downtown, and she's like, I was told not to hang out downtown, that's where, you know, it's kind of dangerous down there. And I was like, no, not at all. How is that? So apparently the reputation of downtown kind of being ignored and not alive is still out there, and it's within our town. So this was somebody that was new, and she was being told, like, just don't hang out downtown, don't go downtown.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so there's still that reputation, unfortunately. So we need to find a way to reach folks on the opposite side of town, to let them know that downtown is alive again.
Well, you know, yesterday I was had lunch at one of our restaurants down here, and a friend of mine, who I've known for a long time, came in with her daughter. And it was the first time her daughter had been to this restaurant, the Sirens.
Oh.
And she's a teacher here. And so you're right, I mean, she didn't, but the way that she had gotten acquainted was through the craft classes. They had gone together to one of the farmhouse craft classes. And so she looked around and said, this is kind of neat, you know, and the next day she's down here having lunch. So there are, I think the more that we have activities like those classes, I think the theater will bring a whole group of young people downtown. I think there's a lot that is, that's going to manifest that will start attracting the young people down here.
But the theater is exciting. We went to see the production of Peter Pan at the high school. It was incredibly well done.
Yes.
It was well done.
And if you didn't like the sound, you can blame Keith. Keith did the
Keith did the
sound.
sound man? Good job. The sound was good. Even with my hearing aids, I could hear it.
But you know, all the way
That's
down
awesome.
and spreading along the Route 66 corridor. And of course, like we said, tourism is just one component of economic development. But the greatest thing about what's happening downtown is we're creating a sense of community and community purpose. And we've been lacking that. And that's one of the things that has hindered us.
I've got to agree with you. Since we've been here, we've been talking to people. There's so many different groups doing their own thing without real coordination between them. If they all got together, at least a comprehensive calendar, because I see them putting events on top of other people's events. If all of these people, with all the energy and the assets they got together, this town is going to fly. It is just going to fly.
This is one thing Promote Kingman has been really working on, is to create a comprehensive calendar of events on their website and Facebook page, regardless of affiliation, any event at all. They're out there. They've got a calendar of events they've created, and now Steve has building that network. He's launched Promote Route 66, Promote Bullhead, and Promote Havasu, and creating a calendar of events for the entire area, so we can try to accomplish getting these events dovetailed and worked. And
the idea is to keep people in the county for a number of days, and so if they're going from here to there, that will accomplish it.
I'm surprised with what he's pulling on that thing. It's 30 to 100,000 people a week on the reach. And things that we're doing, there's like Paul, and then some of the stuff, the Route 66 cruisers, folks who chilling on Beale, all these things building that sense of community. A great example was May 16th. We had a group from the Netherlands here, and Promote Kingman and the Route 66 Association of Kingman got together with Dora from the Grand Event Center and hosted a dinner, a buffet dinner, and then the Route 66 cruisers used their cars as unofficial taxi cabs to pick up the Dutch Motorcycle Club and give them a ride on Route 66, bring them downtown for dinner. And you've done that in the past. We had another one a couple of years ago where we did this with another group. And it really, that's all these people now talk about. It's about Kingman, how friendly it is. And as a result of that particular group that we worked with that night, they now have 5 groups that are stopping in Kingman overnight. Because of that dinner we did on the 16th, on the 30th, we did the same tour company had a group here of 25 people for dinner.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm still mad at you because you didn't tell us about it. We wanted to.
You have to go to Promote Kingman. You can find everything out.
I've got to, yeah. We brought our military trucks down and hauled people for one of them, and they were excited about it.
Oh, I bet.
I'll take that demerit.
Huh?
I'll take that demerit.
You got it. Well, here.
You're getting written up.
I try to keep everybody involved. I try to keep everybody in the loop as much as we can.
It's amazing. We've been very active in our own town, but it's amazing the people that you meet here, how excited they are and how interesting they are. All of these visitors that come in, it's absolutely a thrill for us. Jan and I are getting a little too involved. We came here to retire from retirement.
How's that working out?
No.
No.
All that's happening is I'm getting older and grayer.
With more responsibilities.
Another 20, 30 years, retire again.
I've retired 3 times already. I don't think my heart can take it.
Well, then you better just stay working.
You know, and that takes another great event. We got October is really shaping up to be something spectacular. The folks at Chilton Beal have moved, generally Chilton Beal is the third Saturday of every month. In October, they're moving it to the 7th of October to coincide with Creighton Parish's motor tour. It's a group from Michigan. I talked to Gene yesterday, about 75 cars will be, part of that. And then that's Paul's bailiwick. He's working with a group that's a Vintage Military Vehicle Convoy that's coming in on the 8th.
They'll be here on the 9th, yeah. They're going to stay overnight.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. No, that'll be probably somewhere in the vicinity of 90 military vehicles and probably about 30 support vehicles. Estimated 200, a little over 200 people coming in.
Wow.
So over the last couple of months, Jen and I have been looking over the assets. Can it be done here in town? Yesterday we had an incredibly exciting meeting with the police chief. You get out here in the West, everybody's a sheriff. And it was incredibly positive. Everybody's incredibly positive, the kind of attitude of let's make this happen. Because we do have a little bit to overcome, and one is there's no money.
That's always the biggest hurdle, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm excited about it. This is my first event I'm putting together. They asked me to coordinate it. It's the Military Vehicle Preservation Association. It's a big group. There's 5,000 members in 41 countries.
Oh, wow.
And one of the activities that they do is sponsor convoys across the old military routes. Colonel, he was a colonel at the time, Colonel Eisenhower started it in 1909, wasn't it? 1919.
There was a tremendous book on that, The American Road.
Yeah. He brought every conceivable configuration of military vehicles at the time all the way across what is now Highway 50 to make sure that they could move military goods from the East Coast to the West Coast, because even that early there was a little agitation in the Japanese area. And he drove it with all the trucks. I think it took him something like 3-4 months. Well, we're doing 10 miles an hour, and then we're building roads. And I think that gave him the big interest in the interstate highways. When he became president, he pressed the interstate highways quite a bit. So in 2009, they did that route. They ran that route. 2012, we ran the Alcan route, which was to bring military products up to the highest, the most northernmost airfield we could find to fly stuff out. And then 2015, we did the Bankhead. I never remember. He was senator, wasn't he? He was Senator Bankhead. He came from Washington down through Tupelo and across what is now Highway 10. And this year is the first time they've included Route 66.
Oh, wow, good.
So they'll be leaving in September from Chicago, which we all know is the start of Route 66. And they'll arrive here October the 9th. And we're trying to organize and get over some of the hurdles to have them stay overnight. We've found a place they can park.
Where is that? Where can people go and look at these vehicles?
They actually, when they come into town, which we're not sure whether it'll be 2 or 3 o'clock on October the 9th, we're trying to set up a program at Locomotive Park.
Oh, that would be perfect.
All the vehicles will park there. We'll have a nice welcoming. We haven't really formally approached the city council yet. It's just been kind of...
Just do it. Just set up wherever you feel like. They're military vehicles.
Well, at this point, we're just finding...
They have the gun. You're good.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they have to leave their machine guns home. So they'll come into Locomotive Park on Beale Street, park 95 vehicles there. We'll have a welcoming program. The Veterans Association, the Jerry Ambrose Veterans Association put together what I thought was a nice program for Memorial Day. And they said, we'll do something of the same. One of the highlights of that one, 2 highlights on that one, other than 200 people. will be a recognition and introduction of all of our vets. I've even found 38 chairs I can borrow.
Wow, that's great.
So we'll recognize our vets. Because most of these people who own these vehicles are vets anyway. And the other one is the African Queen will be here. The African Queen is the last modified half-track from World War II to Vietnam. It was found in the desert in North Africa by Colonel Kulik, and he brought it home. And he now is at the U.S. Marine Corps in Pendleton. And they said, you know, for your event, can we bring the African Queen over? Now this is a big deal for aficionados of antique military vehicles. This is the only one left. They only made 59 of them. And this is the only one left. We gave it or sold it or they stole it to the French Foreign Legion. And they were the ones who left it out in the desert. Colonel Kulik was just wandering around and he found it, recognized it, shipped it back to his home in, I believe, Minnesota. And when he moved to California, I got associated with the museum. They rebuilt it. He asked if they could bring it out, and I said, okay, well, maybe. I'm excited about it. In the meeting we had yesterday, we have a great police chief. You know that.
Yeah, DeVries is awesome.
Huh?
Chief DeVries is awesome.
We have great public safety across the board, but the chief is so cooperative with all the groups for all of these events. It amazes me how they pull it off. Whether it's, you know, this or the Best of the West, or they'll just work with us to do whatever the city's trying to do.
And DPS was there. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
The sheriff, the county sheriff was there. And everybody was sitting down to say, well, where are our problems and how do we make this happen?
Right.
I was excited. I think my morale was getting a little bit low. My last situation report that I sent to the guys at the Marine Corps Museum was, troop morale is barely adequate to complete mission. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it for more than one reason. It's going to be a great event for the town, and we get back involved like we were at home in doing community events.
And can people stop and take photos with the?
No, they can wander through, ask questions. The owners will be there. They're always. It's like chilling on Beale, a military chilling on Beale.
Wow.
You know. I think it's going to be fantastic.
That is going to be fantastic. How fun.
Yeah, because we bring our military truck down to chilling on Beale. We look a little silly, all the nicely painted cars and everything, and we got a dented, rusty truck with a machine gun on it. But chilling on Beale, again, is a fantastic event.
We've got also that weekend tied in with between 7th, 8th, and the 9th. Now, I don't have all the details yet. I talked to Sam Murray a little bit last night, but we have a New Zealand tour group who's going to be overnighting in Kingman on October 9th.
Oh, perfect.
And they're really excited about the military vehicles, so we'll have them here. And Efren Lopez, he's a very, very passionate Route 66 enthusiast, and he's currently Army Reserve, I believe, but he's a combat photographer. Been 3 tours, Afghanistan and Iraq. And he's covering the military convoy from start to finish for the United States Army. And he's going to be the photographer that's going along with them.
That's awesome.
And as a bonus, Efren is currently working to establish a photo workshop location. As his next career, photo safari type deal. And I just helped facilitate a meeting with him and John McNulty at the Caverns. And it looks like he's going to set up shop out there and start doing 2- and 3-day photo workshops out with the Caverns as his base camp.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Perfect place for it.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Isn't it fun? I stayed down in the cave overnight.
Did you?
Oh my God! Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great. I'm kind of claustrophobic, and I was thinking, oh my God, you know. So as we're going down in the elevator, 21 floors. You know, the elevator seemed like it was getting smaller and smaller. I walked down into the cave and I was like, oh my God, this thing is gigantic. So I was like, I can do this. Yeah, so we stayed over, and it was really incredible. They have somebody who waits for you, you know, so like, and there's a bell, and you can take the elevator, and there's a staircase also.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a staircase right behind the elevators that they got out of was it a New York tenement?
You don't want to know that.
Yeah.
New York tenement building. It's really fascinating. Oh, that's something else we mentioned real quick. Father's Day, we worked with John McNulty and 66 Cruisers, did a Father's Day cruise. And I'm really honored by this, but anybody who has a group of 10 or more, if they'll get a hold of me, I've got a special arrangement with John, and we can do a $20 lunch and caverns tour. If through part of the Jim Hinckley's America situation for groups of 10 or more.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
$20. I mean, lunch would cost you $20 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's your free tour.
And the first ones to take advantage of this is an Australian tour group that I'll be taking out there on July 25th. And then we also on the 25th of July, we had Dr. Lindsay Baker, a very fascinating gentleman out of Texas. And he's written numerous books. He's a college professor. And I don't even know how to describe this, but he's always had a Model A Ford, all his life. He loves Model A Fords, and I think he's in his mid-60s now. And he's doing a book and a project. He's got a 29 Ford Woody. He's going to be driving from Route 66 end to end.
That's so cool.
And he's going to be here on the 25th with a new book project on Route 66 restaurants that he's doing. But he's going to be doing it in his Model A Ford Woody. So
That's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
That'll be a slow trip, I imagine.
My first car was a Model A Ford. It was quite expensive, $25.
Oh. I'll give you 30 for it.
Jen, is there anything besides the town hall coming up that we should get really excited about, or that we can help with?
Oh my goodness.
That's a huge question.
Yes, I tell you, there's so many groups working on things. The city's very engaged in a number of projects, but I think everyone that is familiar with our discussions going on with the Kingman Airport Authority, and so people will have a chance to attend our next meeting on that. I think it's on July 25th. I'll have to look at my calendar.
At Beal Celebrations
At
and
Beal
the evening.
Celebrations, yes, it's going to be on the 27th at 5 o'clock at Beal Celebrations. So I think anybody that's interested in those discussions and how they're going, because marketing and you know, how we promote the industrial park has been a big part of that discussion. And it's important because those are cornerstone jobs for our community. They give people a lot of discretionary income to come downtown and have fun downtown and other places in the city. So that's going on. I think the banners for the veterans is a program that will be starting now. And the city council just approved that. We had to change an ordinance so that the banners could be hung. And I really love the look of the banners. I really hope that we can find a way to present them so that people can really see who our active military are. Because right now they're starting to go up on some points.
There's one across the street from my shop.
The impact, I would like a bigger impact. Because
It's kind of hard to see.
It's
They're
hard
a
to
little
see.
small.
So I'm hoping that we're going to, the council is really supposed to approve the locations. And I hope we'll have a good discussion and people will have ideas, because I think we need them in a place that you can really see who they are and sit there and go, these are the people who are currently serving us, and honor them that way. So that's another project that is ongoing. And I don't know, there's just always a lot brewing in the city, as you know. What I think is important is the community is coming to the city council meetings. There's a lot of voices. We're going to have the fireworks, don't forget that. Next week, July 4th, we are having good fireworks, and they're going to be the ones that go high in the sky. We have the original vendor back, and it'll be at the fairgrounds, so don't miss that. And I've had a lot of people really excited that we're going to have those fireworks.
I have a great view from my front yard, so I'm
Then-
very
that's
excited
good.
for party at my house.
Just sit there and
Yeah,
enjoy.
we go to Las Vegas to the July 4th parade in Summerlin, like in Summerlin, and we're gonna drive back like mad
To get here for the
to get here for the
fireworks.
fireworks. Oh, yeah, that's neat. That is neat.
Well, you know, it's truly Americana, and some people say, well, you can see it on TV, but it isn't the
No.
same. And the fact is, I always think about the children, because, you know, especially for the kids, if you have families, and they're not going to experience it on TV. When you sit there and look up at the sky and see those beautiful colors and
You smell the gunpowder.
Yeah, I missed that.
have some watermelon, you know, it's all good. So those are, I mean, we're just, we're having discussions on the golf course, and so community input is coming in on that, because we have a really, really nice golf course here in Kingman, and we want it to just get better and better. And so we're discussing a business project and ways to improve, both from the city part and the contractor, on how to get that golf course as majestic as it can be. At the same time, realizing that the water conservation for the course and all of that is a good issue too. So I could go on and on. We have a lot going on at the city, but the most current is the fireworks, and please do enjoy that.
On the banners, people can sponsor one. I think it's $60, isn't it?
You know, I really don't know the cost to
Yeah.
the group
Well,
that is organizing it. I'm sure they're fundraising, so that's the cost that goes
We were
to that.
discussing at the Marine Corps League, and the Marine Corps League is going to sponsor one, and I want to sponsor one.
Well, and Unisource is actually putting the banners up.
Unisource?
They have offered to do that because our city staff is pretty contracted, as you know. And, but again, I think the impact needs to be more strong for these banners.
What are they, too small or too high up?
Both.
Well, both.
Both?
From my point of view.
Well, that's what everyone is really,
That's the
that I'm
input.
hearing.
Oh, okay.
And so we want it to be right, you know, and there's another piece of this too. And the reason that the council must approve the locations, really. There are a lot of people that want festival signs up so that we have more of an identity for our festivals, and here and on Stockton Hill. And so we're having to revise the sign ordinances.
I was gonna
And,
That's good.
and so we have directed staff to prioritize that, because right now they are limited to 14 days, and that's not enough time to really advertise festivals. So I've really been pushing for that to be extended, because you know that we need big festival signs up all over the place when we're having these great events. And it will help give us a Main Street kind of identity. So that's in the works. Our city attorney says, you know, the limiting factor is his time, but I said, well, prioritize it way up here. So that we
How
can
long
get
of a period do you think they should be up ahead of time?
You know, I would be open to public comment, but I can't imagine that it wouldn't be a good idea to have them up for a month or 2 months before the event, maybe a month.
I was in Flagstaff a couple weeks ago, and I did notice they had banners, and there was some that were kind of basically right above, you know, somebody who might have been 6'5", you know, just right above, almost eye level. And those, they had farmers market dates and times and anything that was going on down, and I'm talking about their downtown area, of course, anything that was going on downtown. So I could, as a tourist, because I'm not there, I'm not on their Facebook pages, I could see what was going on in the upcoming, I think, 2 months or so. So that way, as a visitor, I could say, oh, that looks interesting, I can come back. And that's something I definitely think would be a big asset downtown, to keep people coming back and let them know what's going on, because they're not on our Facebook pages. That's stuff that just us locals utilize.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
and
true.
I remember when I think it was one of the Wagners that said, put a picture up once at City Council, and it was just Stockton Hill Road. He said, what city is this? He said, this could be any city. And
No identity.
no identity. And we need to plaster down that road who we are, and I totally agree.
You know, just think if we got so many things we can put, the veterans are crucial. I mean, we need to honor our veterans. The things you know, I just flashed in this, you were talking about an identity and getting an awareness. What happens if we had some of these banners that called attention to things that we have here at the golf course, the electric vehicle museum?
Exactly. I mean, it would be, it's good marketing. We have so many people come through here every day. I mean, it's astounding.
And there's still definitely enough room on these or on the poles to do a military banner up high, and then like I said, in Flagstaff, they were a little bit lower. So you could still, you're not impeding on the military banners, because I think that's very important.
It is, it's very important. I just really
have an addition to it.
Yeah, I think we need them at a place where they just have more impact. Veterans Park perhaps, or someplace where people can really stop and look at the faces of these individuals that are serving.
Our bicycle trails. Nobody knows we have bicycle
And
trails.
that too, and we have great mountain bike trails, and we're trying to get them in a way so that we have competition level trails. The other thing the city's done in this budget is we've allocated funds to improve the walking path downtown by the powerhouse, so that we'll have a better pedestrian with wayfaring signs saying, you know, go this way for
Well, you know what you could,
just fun stuff, just trying to contribute as the city can to the efforts that are being made.
one of the things we talked about last year, I talked with Josh, we met at the school, I thought was really neat, is not just having these wayfaring signs, but blending with those. We were talking to one of the classes at the high school to design little like kiosks that would be your wayfaring signs, that would also have historic photographs or postcards of what this district looked like in 1910, 1920, so you could stand there and you could look at the Beale Hotel block and see it in 1920, 1910.
Wow.
And encourage some foot traffic. You know,
Maybe encourage them to do something with the Hotel Deal.
the marketing situation, marketing all the way across the board, building a network of partners to market is, I've learned working with Steve at Promote Kingman, is really crucial to getting attention. Not just City of Kingman or Promote Kingman, but all the businesses is learning how to harness this. It's pretty astounding. And Promote Kingman, actually, my marketing designs is offering a master class for businesses and organizations on development and utilization and creating a network of websites, social media, and video marketing. And it's pretty exciting. The Bullhead City Chamber of Commerce has jumped on this. They're marketing and advertising it. It's going to be a 2-hour interactive presentation, including an all-you-can-eat buffet at Garlic Close. This is from the Garlic Close. This will be taking place at the Grand Event Center. And for more information on that, you can find that on Promote Kingman. But for anybody who has a business in the area that wants to know how to really market this in the 21st century, I think this would be really worth the investment.
I think there's a lot of that lacking in our area. There is some businesses that are really great at social media, but that is the way to get the word out.
You've got to link this. It's not just a website, but it's a website with social media and using video content and all of these different things integrated. And something tying it in with traditional, radio and newsprint and things. And it's amazing the reach you can accomplish with this. And it is a limited seating situation. That's limited to 100 seats on this.
And where is that?
It's going to be at the Grand Event Center downtown on July 12th from 6 to 8. And you can get tickets and information at Promote Kingman, either the Facebook page or the website.
Oh, okay.
But I was real surprised at the interest that this has generated in Bullhead and Havasu and other locations. Put this thing on the map. I had one more exciting little tidbit here to share. I wanted to say congratulations to SWA and Nadine in Belgium. They sent me a note yesterday. They've launched the Route 66 Association of Belgium. They have a website and Facebook page up, and
is it in English?
they have it in several languages.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember how many languages Nadine speaks. 2 or 3, and then SWA's fluent in 2 or 3 languages. And then they're working with the other, like the Dutch Association for other languages. And then in 2018, they're all working together. The next European Route 66 Festival is in Zlin, the Czech Republic, next August.
So not this August, but the following August?
2018, yeah. Should be another pretty exciting event. Hey, we're gonna, about time to wrap this thing up. Any?
Not anything I can think of off the top of my head.
Except bring your pocketbook and credit card to Southwest Trading
Yes, we're
Company.
open today, 10 to 5. Actually, you know what? If you guys mention Jim Hinckley's America, I'll do 10% off today. So coupon code Jim Hinckley.
That's perfect.
Marketing.
Yeah.
See, that's how we do that.
You might have to come every Friday.
Miss Jen, anything you would like to say before we?
I'd just like to thank you for the invitation to be here. I'd like to invite everyone watching to join us in Kingman and enjoy our city. And it's nice and cooler now. It's cooler than Phoenix. So, and well, that's my sister cities. We are cooler, and we have the mountains here. You can go up in the mountains, have a nice trip up there, and it's really cooler up there. So.
There's pine trees and animals.
Pine trees and animals. My niece was here. I do have to say this. My niece was here from New York about a month ago, and she lives in Manhattan. And I said, let's just take a drive up to the Walleyes. It's 15 minutes, you know. And so we drove up there, and we were just driving on the road, and suddenly she said, what is that? And there were, of course, elk. And they were just standing by the side of the road eating. And we stopped, and one of them just came up and looked at the window, and it's like, she's taking pictures. She was a stat, so she had a great Facebook fun with that. So anyway, we have so much to offer and so much diversity here. So
Well,
we welcome you, everybody that lives here and everybody that comes.
Another, of course, they're a sponsor of Jim Hinckley's America, so, but beside that, Grand Canyon Caverns were beating the heat. Last week when we were having the record heat wave, I had some friends here from Germany, and we went up to the caverns. 61 degrees, you know, at the caverns. Having lunch down in the caverns. I was trying to figure out how we could just stay there till like fall. But
What's your office doing
I had broken air conditioning last week at my shop and at my house.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
And I posted on Facebook, I was like, you guys can find me just standing in the beer fridge at Gas and Grub. Because that's my only escape at this point. I had to go cool down. It was like in the middle of that heat wave. It was awful.
It's terrible. Both of them went out?
Both of them.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're both fixed now.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, now that it's
God.
cooling down.
Yeah, now that it cooled down, they're both fixed.
well, if people want to help with your projects, like such as this military convoy, how can they get a hold of you? Or how should they?
Email. Email is a good way to do it. And my email is usmcm24@gmail.com.
Pretty good.
That's so I can remember it.
That's important.
Mr. Gregg, what do you have to say for yourself this morning?
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. And if anybody gets a chance, it's going to be August 19th at the Palms in Las Vegas. There's the Hollywood Dreams International Film Festival, and the movie that I was in, where I played Sheriff Jim Mackey. It's called Protocol 734. It's going to be playing there, and it's going to be a big, huge, fun event, and there's going to be award ceremonies. And so anyway, you can go to my Facebook page, Gregg Arnold with 2 G's, and I'll post everything as it comes up of when that's going to be and where we're going to be. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And anyone can go. You can go and watch. And it was filmed right here in Kingman.
Yes.
Gene Bishop was in it. So yeah, so there's a lot of local involvement, and so it was a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, just check it out.
Another major motion picture filmed in Kingman.
Yeah, how about that?
We can add that to our wish list. We need a film commission.
Yes,
That's a good point.
I'd love to get involved with
Very
that.
good. You heard it here. Gregg Arnold is starting to head the. Congratulations.
Usually people have to leave the room first before you nominate them for something. Then they come back and like, oh, you're the president of the... That's how you got involved with your convoys, right?
I tried to keep a low key, yeah.
Yeah, you left the room and then they were like, hey, guess what you're doing?
Yeah, we're trying to retire from retirement. Coming over here, yeah. It's not working. It's not working.
Guys, thank you for joining us this morning. It's been always a lot of fun doing this. It's something I really enjoy doing. And judging by the folks who joined us this morning from all over the world, I think they enjoy it too. We encourage people to stop in Kingman. Instead of just
That's right.
Instead of just a stop on the way to, this should be a stop, period.
Yes.
We'll wrap this up with music from Joe and the Road Crew at roadcrew66.com. If you go to their website, they've got a great song they did for the Route 66 Festival, the Kings of Kingman. Guys, thank you very much. It's been fun.
Thank you, Jim.
you.
Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's a man.
Wish I had a song.
That's a great.
Yeah, that must be nice, huh?